So in the day two Oracle Cloud Financials training, the agenda basically is to understand or basically getting familiar with the Oracle Fusion UI and navigational components. Okay, so basically, how you log in, what the login pages look like, and other many other navigation aspects are what we are going to see. Followed by we will take security administration. These two topics we will cover post security administration. So first topic to be taken today is getting familiar with the Oracle Fusion UI and navigational components, and the second aspect being the security administration. So these are the two topics that we will start with. Okay. Now, understanding Oracle Fusion UI. Now, even before you understand the Oracle Fusion UI, you need to understand the concept of environment, or we call it as instance. You also need to get yourself familiarized with the terminology that I'm using, okay, in the sessions. So, instance or environment, okay, that is how you will basically hear me talking about every time I talk about Oracle. The URL and URL related aspects. Okay, so basically, as I mentioned yesterday, clients or businesses basically to say they will purchase the licenses, right? They will purchase the licenses for Oracle, SaaS applications as well as for PaaS platform. Okay, so not necessary that all of them will buy license for both. Okay, for SaaS as well as for PaaS. PaaS is something that they will procure the license if at all they have requirement of building any integrations, or if they have a requirement to uh, what do you say, create any custom application software, etc., which is over and above the Oracle SaaS application. So that is where PaaS licenses will be procured. Okay, but the core product of Oracle, which is the ERP, which is called as SaaS, that is what I explained yesterday. Software as a service license, they will procure it, and with that they will get the licenses to license to use. Okay, basically all the Oracle standard products. Okay, the standard products for financial, the core ones which I've explained yesterday, right? Like GL, that is general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, cash management, fixed assets. These are to name few. Okay, so there are many more applications in under the Fusion Financials Hub. Okay, or the cloud, the family as a product, or as a product family, like intercompany is there, tax is there. Okay, similarly expenses are there. Similarly, joint venture, grants management. Okay, many more applications are there. Advanced collections. Okay, so there are a lot of things. Not only for financials, there are other product families as well, like supply chain. You have procurement, auto management. Okay, similarly, advanced procurement, supplier quality management. Okay, so these are all many more with respect to manufacturing. Okay, these are all different applications that you will find under the supply chain product family. Similarly, project product family, you will have project costing, project contract and billing. Okay, similarly, you will have what do you say, project execution management, financial management. So there are many such products under the project family. Okay, and many more such kind of product families are there, under which different kinds of applications are developed by Oracle, and licenses for which come under the SaaS licensing portfolio. Okay, so they would get the licenses according to the product family requirements that the business has. And once they get the license, okay, once businesses purchases the license for use of these applications or platform, what happens is Oracle provides them with a URL. Okay, URL, the one which we saw yesterday. Okay, today also we are going to see. Okay, so as an example, I had mentioned this one yesterday. EKMK test FA US6 oraclecloud.com. This is one of the environment. Okay, this environment is purchased by the owner of this particular instance. We also call it as instance or environment. Okay, and basically this is something which you get. Okay, which any client would get upon purchasing the license. Okay, and along with that, they will get an administrator user ID and password. Okay, and at one administrator user ID password is what they will get, with which they can log in. And then later on, what happens is for all the different kinds of users. Okay, it won't be just one user for this particular instance, right? User means what? The people who are accessing these applications to carry out their day-to-day activities. Okay, so those are called as the users. All right, now the user basically, for every user, there needs to be a separate user ID and password, just like in your day-to-day, mobile related applications. Also, first of all, you will have to register, then log in with the respective credentials, right? Which is basically your name on and the respective password that you set. The same way for accessing Oracle application also, there would be a user ID and a password that is required for every user, for any person who needs access to the applications to use it. That is where they would require it, and it is to specific instances that you log. Okay, so for each company there is a different set of instance that will be provided for each company that buys the licenses, or for each person also, you can say, who would buy the license. Okay, they would provide a separate login instance or environment. Okay, get yourself familiar with these words, because time and again I'll be using this word only in the coming sessions as well. Okay, now understand one more thing. It's not just one instance that they will have. Okay, for any client that purchases the licenses, they would at least get two or three instances. Okay, now what are these two or three instances for? Okay, let me explain that aspect as well, because it is something that you should understand. When we are talking about functional consultants, you should understand that aspect as well. Okay, let me open a new Excel on the drive. So this is a working sheet that I'll be maintaining for all the different topics that I'll be covering, and anything that related to that what I jot down. So this is kind of a working sheet that I'll be sharing with you all. Okay, whoever confirms the enrollment, and whoever is going to be part of this training program in the coming days. Okay. So what we are talking about is environment or instances, right? So when we talk about environment or instances, yeah, I mentioned that it is nothing but a URL that is provided to the business that purchase the license. Along with that, there will be a user ID and password also that will be required to log into the applications. Now, URL or instance, as I mentioned, every business that purchases the license, they would get at least two or three instances. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of having a two or three instance? So one instance would be a production instance or production environment. Okay. The other two are called as test and dev. Test environment and dev environment. Okay, now what is the purpose of having these three? So production is basically the main environment wherein the day-to-day business activities are carried out. Okay, but in the event there is any issue that comes up, or there is any new thing that needs to be new feature that needs to be explored, or training needs to be conducted, then you cannot do it on production environment. Why? Because it is live data. You cannot play around as you would want with live data. Okay, so that is where production environment is entirely for business day-to-day activities or day-to-day operational activities. For carrying out that, production environment is basically utilized. But for other activities, as I mentioned, during the life of the business, when they are using the Oracle ERP, many a times they will come across certain issues or bugs. Okay, and that needs to be tested. Similarly, any new developments, any new report, let's say they want to develop, it's not directly on the production environment that it will be developed. It will be actually developed in the dev environment or the test environment. Now, these two instances, all businesses they have for performing these kind of testing activities, okay, or any other development activities before it can finally be moved to production. Okay, so this is kind of more like a test environment where things are tested, and things where you can play around with any functionality testing, new testing, any trainings that need to be conducted. All such things are something that you would do it in the test and the dev environment. Okay, and finally, once everything is finalized in the test or dev environment, it will be moved to the live production. This is also called as the live environment, wherein the daily business operations are being carried out. Okay. All right. Now, this is the brief around the instance or production. Now, let's sign into the application that we have. Okay, these instance or these particular URL will be, or environment details will be provided to you along with the user ID and password once you have, started with your or completed or finalized your enrollment aspects. Okay, so let's log in. So this is the home screen. This is the login page, first the page which we saw earlier. And then once you log in, okay, you will be redirected to some page as per the last saved pages. But you need to click on this home icon. Okay, this home icon is something where you click on and you will be taken to the home page of the application. So this is the home page. Okay, so basically it will show you this basic area is called as the springboard. Okay, and in the springboard basically you will have many application related aspects. So on the top you have the application function related accesses, and below that you have the actual functions, the different types of functions that are with respect to each of the work area. These are all called as work areas. Okay, procurement as a workspace, you can say procurement as a workspace, my client group as a workspace, expense as a workspace. Now these are all coming up. Why? Because you this particular user, okay, has been given the access to all these applications. Okay, and functional areas. These are all work areas or functional areas or functions that can be performed. Okay, so you can see all of these cases for expense, for payroll, for workspace, for risk management, partner management, sales. Okay, so all these kinds of applications and their respective functional areas or work areas or something that is available below. Okay, now I'll just for you to relate, I will go to payables. Okay, payable is what? Payable is the application which is used for managing the businesses supplier related invoicing and payment activities, right? So now when I clicked on payables, this basically payables is the access again given to this particular user. That's the reason he's able to see the payable workspace. And under payable workspace, there are three such work areas: payable dashboard as a work area, invoice, and payments. Now, further you go into each of these, icons, click on it, and it will take you to the respective functionalities or functions. So under payable dashboard, you will find all the dashboards, all major dashboards that give you certain actionable, information. And you will find under the payable dashboard, like invoice requiring attention, stop payments, supplier payments, all of those things. Okay. Now, if I want to move back, I will click on the home icon again. Okay, and then let's say it is invoices functions that the business user or the accounts payable employee wants to perform. So you'll click on invoices. Okay, and invoice related, some of the dashboards, and this is something called as the task list. Okay, for each of the workspace, you will find the similar task list under which you will find all the different functions that can be performed. Okay, so with respect to invoices, this is the invoice, landing page and invoice work area landing page. And then you click on this task list, something looks like an menu option. You click on it and it will show you all the different tasks that can be performed for the invoicing related activity, like create invoice from spreadsheet, or create recurring invoices, manage invoices. These are all different invoice related activities. Invoice entry related activities, invoice accounting related activities, all those information. Okay, then there are other navigational items like this. This is a quick search. The magnifying lens is basically a quick search. When you want to quickly search any supplier related invoices or directly invoice number, and you want to search it. So those information will be, you can enter and then search it. This is more like a quick search. Then this is the reports and analytics section. Basically, there are many reports that you get as part of the standard product. Okay, so you want to access those. So this you have to click. There are other ways also to access the reports, but this is one of the way to directly quickly access from the invoice page itself. And in this shared reports and analytics folder, when you expand it, you will find all the invoice related standard Oracle reports. Okay. The same way, this is another function which is called as uh, match in full, but this is not something I'll talk about, but because it is more integral to the payable as a process, which I'll explain later on during our in-depth sessions on the respective modules. Okay, so this is where basically the user of any business user would come into these kind of pages and perform their activity. Okay, perform the day-to-day activities related to their department. Okay. So this is how basically some of the navigational components that I have talked about with respect to the Springboard. Okay. Now, if you scroll down a bit more, you will see many more, sections or areas to this particular theme page. Okay. So this is the theme page wherein, you will get many other aspects as well. You can see here news and announcement. This particular layout, okay, this layout that you see here, wherein in the top you have, the application related aspects or application related, navigational components, and then scroll down, you will see certain news and announcement, news feed related, section. Okay. Similarly, if you scroll down, there are certain, approval related or things to finish section available, wherein, you will get certain notifications for any action that is pending related to, certain notifications or approvals and all. Okay. Then there is an analytics section below, wherein, many kinds of analytical, infolets can be assigned with respect to each of the application areas, and it can be used for your quick analysis. Okay, so that is what this section is all about. So now this entire theme that you see, okay, this login page, this is called as the news feed theme. Okay, this is called as the news feed theme. Okay, or news feed layout. Okay. And let's talk about other components that you see on the application in this particular login page. So now this search you see, okay, this search is kind of a global search icon, which is available for you to search any kind of, page, any kind of function related aspect. So create invoice is one of the function that we saw under invoicing activity, right? So directly you can search from here as well. Okay, if you are not aware where to go, you have this search option which is available for you to search. This is more like a global search of functions. Okay. Then home icon I have explained. Every time you want to come back to the home page, you have to click on this home icon. Similar to just, the applications that you use in the day-to-day life, there are also home page options. So you click on home and it will take you to the main screen, right? So the same thing. Okay, then there is a star icon, which is for marking certain items as favorite and recent items. Okay, so when you click on it, you will see there are two tabs, favorites as a tab, and the second one as recent items. So recent items will actually show you all the different pages that you accessed, in the past few as past few activities. Like, we accessed invoice workbench, right? A little while ago, we went to the invoice workbench. So that is the reason it is showing the recent items as invoice workbench. Before that, we or someone else might have gone with the same user ID, would have gone for payables or managed suppliers. So all the recent items are something that is displayed over here. Now, favorites bar or favorites tab is basically for you to mark certain pages as favorite. So let's say, for example, you are a, accounts payable accountant, and you basically have to do the work of managing the invoices, creating the invoices and all. You don't want to go to, that particular payable area and then go click on one by one. Instead, you want to access a page directly. Okay. So invoice creation page directly. Then in that case, you can mark them as favorite, just like in your, browser, basically, Google browser or any other browser, certain pages that you say certain pages that you visit, you can mark them as favorite, right? The same way within Oracle application also, certain pages that you are frequently visiting and you don't want every time to go click and go to that respective page. Instead of that, you can mark them as favorite. Okay, so this is where you can add to favorite. So once you have, let's say for example, create invoice as a page is something that you want to, this one, create invoice as a page is something that you want to mark as favorite. Okay, or let's say create accounting, or let's say this particular page itself, you want to mark as favorite. So you will come down to this page and then simply click on this favorites bar, and then you will say add to favorites. And you can give the name if you want. Okay, system will pick up the system name, but any other name you want to pick up for your reference perspective, you can put it here. Okay, and save and close. So that will be added to the list below. I'm not saving and closing because it's already added in the list, like this: invoice workbench, payment workbench, journal entry. Okay, like that. So this is the use of favorites and recent item. Okay. Yeah, Alok, you had some question. Quickly, please.
Hi Chandu. I am regarding the concern of how many modules will be covered in this classes.
Yeah, I had explained it earlier yesterday in the demo session, but yeah, it's primarily it's 5 modules that will be covered. Okay, we see the course duration is only for 80 to 90 hours. Okay, for live sessions. Okay, so what will happen is we will be gradually moving on with each of the application aspects, configuration, as well as how to use it. So it will be general ledger application, followed by accounts payable, accounts receivable, cash management, and fixed assets. Now, it is many a times it happens that during the live sessions or the 80 to 90 hours do not suffice, and maybe you will reach up till only cash management. So in that case, we will be providing you with the recordings. Okay, we have recordings for the modules. Okay, so the fixed asset module, which we could not take as a live session, we will be sharing the respective recordings with you. You can go through and you can ask any questions, doubts that you may have, and clarify it with me. Okay, so this is how the course will proceed further. Understand this: 80 to 90 hours of live sessions, and anything that is left out will be basically provided to you as a recording, session recording.
Chandu, but I have one more concern. There is a 3 more module in the PDF. There is written is Oracle Fusion Finance, Expense Management, Purchasing, and Tax
Yeah,
Management.
yes.
That will be also covered in this session.
No, it won't be because, see, as I mentioned, 80 to 90 hours is the course duration, and we cannot cover everything, during this particular specified time. And also the course offering that we are giving. Okay, what are we basically going to teach you? It is the core 5 modules. The core 5 modules, that is the crux of the cloud financial cloud financial suite. That is general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, cash management, and fixed assets.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Thank you. Thank you.
for the other 3 modules, or in fact it's not 3 modules, there are many more. It's like a host of modules when you talk about a product family. Okay, and no institute would give you a training on everything, every product under a particular product family. It's not practical. Okay, yeah, they therefore break up and have it as different courses altogether. So what we are offering, or our core offering for this particular course, is to train you on the basic 5 modules. Okay, that is general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, cash management, and fixed assets. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. These modules in itself is very vast. You will definitely realize that when we go into the application concepts and aspects, definitely you will realize how vast each of these modules is. Okay, and that is how basically curated course is prepared with the specific modules only. Okay. Yeah.
Sure, Chandu.
Got it. 1 second. Okay, so this is the favorites item which we were talking about. So I hope you have understood that particular aspect as well. Then there is something called as, I'm going to homepage back. Then there is something called as the watch list. Watch list is what basically, certain actionable items on which you want to keep a constant watch. Okay. So in your, let's say, for example, the watch list as a terminology is quite understandable for everyone, or relatable to everyone when we talk about from it from a stock market perspective, right? So when you are looking at the stock on a daily basis, or watching or the stock on a daily basis, you add those stocks in a watch list, right? Any application related to the stocks will give you certain watch list sections wherein you can add stocks that you want to keep a constant watch on. So that is the concept of watch list. Okay, similar concept is there in the Oracle applications also. With respect to certain departmental activities, you might want to keep a constant watch on those activities. Okay, so that is where you can create, you have certain watch list that you can add or associate with this particular list. Like one of the example being invoice approvals or payment approvals, or any exceptions that you want to track with respect to additions. This is for asset additions. Okay, any exceptions that might have happened during the import process. So many times we have imports as well, right? Certain integrations would be developed with a third party system, and certain kind of data or transactions would be integrated to Oracle as well. Okay, so that is where those kind of import related aspects also you might want to keep an eye on. Okay, similarly, certain functions related to the respective applications as a result of the departmental activities, that also you might want to keep a track on. Okay, so that is where you have all these aspects. These are the seeded ones. Okay, the seeded means the Oracle defined watch list. Okay, with respect to different areas of work. Okay, you will find a lot of them. Now, all these are coming up. Why? Because I have accesses to all these applications. Okay, in real-time environment, business users. Okay, the business user means the people working in different departments who are accessing this application to carry out their day-to-day activities. They will not get access to everything. Okay, my user is kind of a super user, and therefore I have access to everything. Okay, because I need to train you, teach you. That's the reason why I have access to everything. Okay, to show you the aspects, or to walk you through the aspects, or clarify the concepts, explain the nitty-gritties. So that's where I have access to everything. Okay, to show you how it works. But in real life environment, it's not that way. The accesses are restricted. Accounts payable department person, people will only be provided the respective accounts payable related work area. They'll not get access to general ledger. They'll not get access to accounts receivable. They'll not get access to procurement or any other aspects. Key activities that they need to perform, being an employee of the organization, and being part of a specific function or department within the business, only those related accesses they will get. Okay, and accordingly the watch list also, you will see only those specific aspects only coming up in their user IDs. Okay, so that is about watch list. Then you see this particular bell icon. Okay, in the bell icon, there is you can see certain notifications that has come up. So this is specifically an area for uh, viewing the notifications, which even we have in all our softwares or websites that we visit, right? A bell icon related thing will be there, which indicates there are notifications. Okay, it's an area for viewing the notifications. So these are all some of the different kinds of notification that has come up. It can even, this is FYI notification. FYI means just for your information. Okay, but there are many times approval related notifications also that will come up, considering let's say you are an approver for invoices in your business. Then in that case, invoices that have been submitted by the accounts payable junior accountant, who is responsible for entering the invoices, he will enter it and submit it, and then he will initiate the approval, and it will come down to you for approval, review and approval, because you are an approver in that particular chain of hierarchy. Okay, so this is where you will be able to see those notifications. Okay, any actionable notifications or any FYI notifications will be displayed under. Okay, then you have something called as navigator. This menu icon, do you see? This is a navigator. This is an alternative for this particular springboard area. Okay, so in this case, you have to go to the respective workspaces, and you have to click on a specific one, and then you have to select the underlying functions. The same way you have this navigator also. Click on navigator and you have all the different work areas listed here. Okay, in a vertical order. Okay, this is the horizontal layout, and you can see this is the vertical layout. Okay, so you can see here all the different aspects that we saw at this particular area. Product management, me, my team, procurement, my client group, expenses, payroll, workspace, sales, service, help desk. All these things are displayed over here. And when you click on any one of them, let's say, for example, again, payables, I will take. Scroll down, I'll click on payables. So you can see here there is a drop down. So when you click on it, or any just on payables also, if you click, you'll see those three workbenches: payable workbench, invoice workbench, payments workbench, payable dashboard. The same way for all the other things also you will find it. Okay. So this is a navigator basically. Okay, which is a vertical layout of all the application accesses and function accesses. On the other hand, this home page, okay, this newsfeed theme layout, in the top, it gives you the horizontal layout of the application accesses, which you can navigate like this and go to any specific springboard and the respective work area. Okay. So hope this has been clear to you from a UI perspective. UI means user interface. Okay. Generally, the pages that the user sees or visits, that is called as user interface. So now this is the home page user interface. Okay. And what are the different sections to it and all those things we have understood on a high level. Okay. To make yourself familiar with those particular aspects. Okay. Now there is one more thing. As functional consultants, you should be aware of. Okay, so there is something, this icon is there wherein some credentials of the some last name, first name, starting credentials will be displayed as a profile icon. Okay, and similarly, if at all photo is there, photo is uploaded as for the employee, then the respective photo also will be displayed. So more or less this is kind of a profile icon, but we call it in Oracle as the settings and actions. Okay, so you can click on that and you have certain kinds of settings and actions that you can perform. As a user, you may want to set certain preferences related to time, okay, or certain other preferences related to language and all. Okay, so that is something you can set from this particular let me go back to home page and I'll show you again. So click on this settings and actions, and you have something called as personalization. Under personalization, you have something called as set preference. Okay, so when you click on set preference, you'll see there are certain general preferences and certain application related preferences that you can set here. Okay, but for you to be familiar with, you can just look at these aspects like regional. Okay, so when you click on regional, you will see it's related to the territory in which you are working, the date format, time format, number format, currency, okay, time zone. These are some of the things that can be set, okay, as a preference. Then language preference. Okay, so if you have a certain language preference, then those language setups can also be done from here. Okay, then similarly, you can see access my photo if you want to upload. Okay, and work around it. So that photo related section is there, which you can set the preference for your photo profile photos. Okay, so you can add a photo here and it will be displayed here. Okay, then you have password. So if you want to reset the password, okay, related aspects, so here you can reset the password for this user ID. Okay, similarly, you have proxies. Proxies is another case which I'm not going through at this moment, not to confuse you. Okay, then watch list. Watch list, we had seen in the earlier case. So this is where you will find all the system related watch list. Now, some of them you want to deactivate. Okay, then in that case, from here you can deactivate. Okay, and then it will disappear from the watch list. Okay, so this is the area where you can manage the watch list, what all kind of watch list you would want under your watch list section. Okay. So these are some of the preference related aspects. Okay, these are some of the application related aspects which you can set from here. I'll not go into that at the moment. Okay. Now, again, I'll go to that settings and action icon. Now, as a functional consultant, Okay, as a functional consultant, what did I say yesterday? By going through this course, you are preparing yourself or you are getting trained yourself for a functional consultant role, a finance functional consultant role. Okay, what is the job description for a finance functional consultant role? They should be able to know the setups. They should know the setups of the financial applications, and they should know how to use the applications also. The business related aspects as well as all those things on a generic level, they should know. Okay, so that is the job description of a particular functional consultant role. That too, from an Oracle finance functional consultant role, they should be aware of the financial applications of Oracle. Okay, how the configurations can be done, as well as how the how the usage of the application can also be done. So that's the role of a finance functional consultant. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, what you are going to train on, two things, right? You will be trained on the configuration of the each of the application. Similarly, you will be trained on how to use the or how to carry out different activities also in the respective applications in line with the generic business processes. Okay. So that is where one of the aspect of configuration is what I talked about. Okay. So in order to be able to do configurations, okay, there is a specific access that you need. Okay. There is a specific access which you require. Just one moment. Okay, so that access basically is called as the setup and maintenance access. Okay, so in order to be able to configure the applications, you need the access to setup and maintenance. Okay, and this particular setup and maintenance that you see over here is why, because I have the access of doing the setups. Because I'm a functional consultant, I have the access to do the setup and maintenance, and that is the reason I have this. I am able to see this particular activity over here, and this is what is required for every functional consultant, okay, or any technical consultant for that matter. Okay, basically they need to be able to do the setups and any other related activities. That is why they will need the access to setup and maintenance. Now again, that access is provided. Okay, this access is not provided to the regular business users, who are business users as in the employees of the business, or basically who are users of specific departments. Okay, they are not, this access is not provided to them, because ultimately they should not have access to this. They should only be having access to their own respective functional areas only. Okay, but this is basically provided to all administrators, functional consultants, as well as the system administrators. Okay, now this, when you click on it, you will be taken to those pages where all kinds of setups can be performed. Okay, now the setups are distributed into product families. Okay, the setups are distributed mainly in product families. So that is where you can see here setup financials. So the one that you are seeing, the page that you are seeing, is to manage the financial application related setups. Okay, similarly, when you click on the drop down, you will see all the different kinds of product families. Okay, so for HCM Communicate, Grants Management, Fusion Accounting Hub, Customer Loyalty, Customer Data Management, Compensation Management, okay, Help Desk related activities or Help Desk related setups, Manufacturing and Supply Chain Material Management, Marketing Management, Order Management, okay, Procurement Management. Okay, for all of these things, you will see different product families and the product areas. Okay, so related setup is what you will find under each of them. Now, financials is something where all different applications of financials are, associated or located under the financial setup. This is what we need to be aware of, right? Because we are training for financial consultant role. Okay, so this is where you have the financial setups, wherein you have to come down and navigate and come down. Okay, and on the left hand side, you see functional areas. So these functional areas are in line with the different applications and other functions functional setups that need to be performed. Okay. On the right hand side, you will find the associated functions. So initial user, the user related setups or the task related to user setup is something that you will find under the functional area called as initial users. And on the right hand side, you will see all the associated tasks that could be performed. Just like in the invoice workbench, you had a task list wherein invoice related activity tasks that you could see and perform from there, right? The same way for functional consultant, your task is what? Doing the setups. Okay. And there are different areas of setups that is called as the functional area. And within each of those functional area, you will have different kind of setup task that you may have to. Okay. So on the right hand side, so now it is only showing a required task. Now, if I click on the drop down and say all tasks, it will show me all the tasks which are part of this initial user functional area, like user and role synchronization, application security preferences, user and role info, application security, okay, import login, create implementation users, or data role for implementation. These are all different kinds of setup associated to initial user functional area. Okay, now let me talk about general ledger. Let's say general ledger as an application. In that, you want to access all the let's say you want to do the setup related to general ledger. So you will click on general ledger as a functional area, and on the right hand side, you will see all the tasks coming in. Now, these are the key tasks that need to be performed in order to set up the general ledger application. And then if you click on this drop down and you select all tasks, then it will give you all the tasks that are to be performed. Now, not all tasks are mandatory. Okay, required task means all the mandatory tasks that need to be performed in order to enable the application. But then there would be many other additional tasks also, depending upon case by case scenario, the setup would have to be done. Okay, so that is where you will find all tasks. Okay, similarly, let's say payables. Okay, so payables you have, when I clicked on the payable functional area, you can see all the setup activities related to payables, that to the required task only. Okay, but you want to see other tasks as well, you can click on all tasks and you will see all tasks available over here. Okay, now these are different setup activities that you will have to perform with respect to each of the application that we are training on. And this is what we are going to see in the coming days. Okay, first for every application, first you will see setup and then followed by the how to use the application. This cycle will be the cycle for all applications that we are covering as part of our course offering. So first we will look at general ledger, its configuration, and then how to use general ledger. Then once it is completed, we will move to accounts payable configuration and how to use it. Okay, so that will be completed. Then we will move to receivables configuration, how to use it, and thereby the receivable will be completed. Then we will move to cash management setups, and then followed by the transactional activities in cash management, and then the application would be completed. Then the fixed assets configuration, and then how to use it. So those will be done, and the course will be completed. Okay, so that is how basically the course progression will be. Okay. So what are the different kinds of setups that need to be done? All those things are already, added in a particular curriculum list. Okay, so there is a curriculum list. Probably you might have gotten it from the admin team, or else it will be shared. But even I will display that particular curriculum sheet here as well. Okay, so let me show you that. Like here I have, mentioned what are the different applications that we are covering. One second, let me zoom in. Okay, so like GL, I have mentioned here GL a sheet. Okay, so you can see on the left hand side, these are the configuration related tasks. Okay, all these things that you see, these are the mandatory tasks that needs to be performed, or what we are going to perform. Okay, as part of the GL configuration. And on the right hand side, you will see the system task name. So this is the system task name which you will find in the application. here. Okay, in the setup and maintenance area. So general ledger, if you look here, do you see manage primary ledger? So this is the task name that has been mentioned in the curriculum sheet, manage primary ledger. See, so this basically chart or this particular curriculum sheet also will be shared with you, so that you don't have to, it is quite impossible to, by heart everything. Okay, so that's where as a guide it will be provided to you to navigate for the different setup task as well as the different transactional aspects. Okay, so on the right hand side you see the transactional processes. So once we are done with all of these setups, then we will look at the transactional part, like, the transactional part that you see here: creating the journal, loading the journal, account inspector, similarly posting, auto reversal, data access, cross validation, security setup, security rule setup, okay, ledger, secondary ledger. All these are topics related to the transactional processes within the general ledger application. Okay, so that we will see once the setup has been completed. Okay, so like this we will proceed for progress for each of the application. So for AP, you can see the configuration task list and the name and the transaction process on the right hand side. So this configuration task list is something that is available under the setup and maintenance. Okay, in the application under setup and maintenance for financials, these are the functional areas, and under that you will find the respective tasks which we talked about as per the sheet. Okay, there is another option also. Let's say, for example, you don't know under which functional area the task belongs to. Let's say manage primary ledger, you don't know it is under general ledger, assume it. Okay, but you know definitely what is the name of the task. Okay, because let's say the curriculum sheet has the name of the task. Let's say, okay, let's say manage accounting calendar, this is the task you want to access, but you don't know under which functional area this will come in. So what you can do is you can search as well based on this name. You can even search as well to find out that task. So that is where this search task pane comes in handy. Okay, so let's say, and even you can search it as a keyword. Okay, you understand the keyword aspect, right? So basically based on certain words, keywords, you want to search it. You don't know the entire name of the task also, let's say. Okay, you just know the keywords. Let's say regarding managing account calendar, I don't know the full exact spelling, let's say, for example. Then in that case, I'll just mention MANGE. Percentage is the wildcard character that you need to enter for facilitating search. Okay, and let's say accounting, the starting words of ACCOU, and then followed by calendar, CAL. Okay, so these are the keywords by which I want to search that particular task, which is called as the manage accounting calendar, because I'm going to do, let's say, the setup of that. Assume it. Okay, so that is where I will have to first of all search that task. I will input the keywords in this way, and then search it from here. So when I do that, it will directly take me to that particular task, manage accounting calendars. And then you can perform the setup for the calendar related aspect under this particular task. Okay. So these are some of the information related to the basic navigation understanding that you need to have at this stage. Okay, so that's where we are just touch basing on these particular navigational aspects and components. There is one more thing. So this is each functional area wise, the setup tasks are each product family wise, each functional area wise, the product, the setup tasks are segregated. There is another search criteria or a search place wherein you can search for, wherein you can do a global search. In that particular search page, there won't be any such bifurcation, product family wise bifurcation or functional area wise bifurcation. The setup will not be segregated, but it is more like a global search area. So within the entire application, what all tasks or setup tasks are there, everything will be listed in as a particular list. It will be listed, and you can even search from there as well. Okay, so let's say manage accounting calendar. I want to search it from the global search area. So this global search area, where will you find it? Under this task list on the setup and maintenance page. This is one of the task list here. We call this as task list. Click on that, and do you see here a search option available? So this search option, click on it. That is where this is the global search page. We call it as the global search page. It will check in the entire list of product families. It will check for that particular setup task. Okay. So if I just do a blank search means I don't put anything in the search criteria and I simply click on search. Okay. It will not pick up because, there is some keywords required. Okay. So let's say, for example, now I want to search for manage accounting calendars. So I'll say manage percentage ACC percentage CAL. Okay. And I do the search here. So it will show all the setup task, which has these keywords in its name. Okay. So here the manage accounting calendar task is also shown. Then there is there is another task which contains all these characters. Okay. Manage monthly accounting calendars. Okay. So that also is displayed. So now you can choose from which is the specific task which you want to access. Okay. So let's say, for example, I want to search the setup task for ledgers. Okay. So manage ledger, LEDG. I'll just put that and search. So all the tasks, setup task, which has these keywords in this order, first manage would come up and then followed by ledger. It will show all of them. Like you can see manage knowledge. So manage is one word which is it is starting, and then percentage is there and LEDG. So because LEDG is in the knowledge, so that's where these tasks are also coming. Okay, so this is kind of a global search which will help you do a global search of setup tasks that are to be accessed. Now let's say what were we looking for? We were looking for manage ledgers. Okay, so you might want to add more wordings into the search criteria. Okay, so I will just put ledger as well and search. Okay, now specific ledger related things are coming in. So here you can see manage general ledger profile option, manage ledger document sequences, out of which what is the specific setup task that you want to select. You have to scroll down and select it. Otherwise, you will have to input the full exact name. Okay, so let's say if it is the exact name I'm aware of, then I can put the exact name without putting any percentages. Let's say manage primary ledger. Like that, if I put up, then the specific task will be searched. But the other option is provided with percentages and all, you can put it. That option is provided while it's not possible to remember exact name of all tasks that may be in the application. So that is why the Oracle has provided you with a facility where based on certain keywords, you can search the respective task list, and that way narrow down the list of tasks for you to select. Okay, and it is governed by the percentage as a as a character. Okay, the global search, or the keyword search basically is facilitated based on that percentage. Okay, so this is all about the certain basic details around the navigational aspects and components, okay, that I have discussed. So for functional consultant, as I mentioned, this is one of the key area. For functional consultant or technical consultant who want to, or IT administrators who are looking after the setup related activities, okay, for them, this is one of the crucial areas. Okay, so which is what we are going to see every day now. Okay, moving tomorrow onwards, when we look at the any kind of setup that needs to be done, this is where we will quite frequently visit in order to carry out the different setup activities. Okay, hope this is clear. Okay, just before we can move ahead, just a basic information. Please confirm your enrollments. Whoever is willing to move ahead with the training program, okay, please confirm your enrollments to admin. Admin has yesterday also shared the number. I believe today also the number is shared. Yes, admin, can you please share that number for getting in touch? So you can directly get in touch with that number also, or else if you provide your number or email ID, then admin directly will get in touch with you. Okay, so thereby you can discuss it out with them, the course fee structure, and what are any other doubts or clarity that you would want, you can discuss with them, and you can complete your enrollment. Now, why do you need to complete your enrollment? Because only once you confirm your enrollment, you will be included in the WhatsApp group, which is basically to discuss any you know having any discuss on any queries or questions or anything, or any other support that you need, okay, with respect to the training. Okay, then second thing is you will be given access to this particular environment and instance where you can practice. okay, based on the your enrollment confirmation only. Okay. The third thing is tomorrow, we tomorrow onwards, people who are not going to confirm their enrollment, we may not allow them. Okay. Or maybe just tomorrow also we may allow, but then anyways, in future, definitely, or probably from day after tomorrow, we may not allow anyone else to enter the session who has not confirmed their enrollment. We will not do that. We will be sharing, a different a link altogether for the meeting invite and all. Okay, so that's where it's quite important to confirm your enrollments today itself. Please do that, and we will be going on ahead with the other topics of training. That would be further. We will be deep diving into the application aspects. Okay, so for today the time is up, and therefore I will be wrapping up with this UI related navigation aspects only. But tomorrow we will start with more crucial topic, which is called as the security administration for the application. It is quite important to understand, and that's where it's a key session. So please ensure to get in touch with admin, confirm your enrollments, and hope to see you all in tomorrow's session. Okay, before we wrap up, any questions on the topics that we covered today? Or any other question for that matter that you want to ask? Anything? Any questions? Any clarity that you want? Okay, all right then. That's all, guys. Thank you. Have a good day. Hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.